The unit overall is a service learning project, which is really deeply rooted in vocabulary instruction. From the words concern, support, and compassion, I really evolved a lesson around those three words and allowed the children to connect to something that they were concerned about that we could help directly in our community.
All right, I need everyone sitting up nice and tall and straight. Who came ready to learn how to be better readers today? Give me a thumbs up. Are you ready to learn how to read? David, I need to see you. You're ready to learn how to read? Thumbs down. All right, what are those things that we have to learn in first grade again? Standards. And in first grade, we have to expand our vocabulary. Everybody do that with me. Expand our vocabulary. When we expand our vocabulary, what does that make us? Better readers who will now know how to comprehend. So what we're going to do is we are going to bring our words to life. Bring our words to life. I need all of your eyes right here because I'm looking for a word wizard. Give me a hand if you want to be a word wizard. Let me see who wants to be a word wizard. Let me get Kyrie and Cara. Let's give them a hand. Woo!
There's a portion of the lesson called, say and do, where not only are they saying the word repeatedly, but they come up with a creative motion to help them to remember the words. So every time we say concern, there's a gesture.
All right, word wizard number 1 and word wizard number 2. Now, who's going to be the drummer? Who's going to be the drummer? Kyrie's going to be the drummer, and I need little magicians who are going to help us learn the words. You need your apple picker, don't you? Here you go. All right, now wave your magic wand and make them all magicians. All right, magicians, get your magician fingers ready. Wiggle them and get them ready. Get them ready, and we are ready to begin. Drum roll, please. Compassion. What's the word?
Compassion.
What's the word?
Compassion.
Does anybody notice anything? Not my wizard. Does anyone notice anything about the word compassion? What do you notice about the letters that come together to form the word, Antonio?
In the word compassion, it have a double letter.
A double letter. What's another way to say that?
A bonus letter.
Bonus letter. How do we indicate that there's a bonus letter? We place a star. Does anyone see any vowels in our word? Get ready, wizard. Get ready. Do you see any vowels? Ahmad, what vowel do you see? Oh, find A. Is that A, everybody?
Yeah.
And what can A say? Because he can A or A. And what's the difference? What do we call A? Short A and long A. All right. Does anyone see another vowel out there? Elijah, do you see another vowel? Okay, so we have a O here and we have a O down here. What does O say?
Oh.
It can say O, it can say his name, or it can say ah. So short O says ah. Are you listening? Long O says oh. Oh, he says he sees a word here. Tell me the word you see. Pass. Does everyone see that word? So sometimes, and remember that's a strategy that good readers have, they can find words within a larger word. And that helps them to read the word all together, which means, hold on, which means that we probably have some syllables in this word. Some syllables. What are syllables? Word parts. Word parts. What are syllables? Word parts. So is my drummer ready? Are you ready? All right. And are my magicians ready? Get your clapping hands ready. Are you ready? Stay with me, David. Are you ready? Here we go. We're going to clap it out. Ready? You ready? You ready? All right. Compassion. Oh, don't yell it out. We're going to do it one more time, and then we're going to blow the syllables in our hand. Are you ready? Compassion. Blow it in your hand. How many syllables? Don't yell it out. 1, 2, 3. Release. 3 what? Syllables. And a syllable is a word part. Support yourself. Pat yourself on the back. You did a great job. Now let's all go back to our picture. Wizard, will you point to our picture? Now, Tashana noticed earlier that there was a heart. Can everyone try that? Try and make a heart with your hands. A heart. That stands for love. Now, compassion, eyes up here. Oh, eyes up here. Good job. There you are. I thought you all fell asleep on me. Compassion is not a word that we have come across in our text. Hold on. But it is one that we can infer from books that we have read. In a little bit of winter, and when we've been reading all these stories about homelessness, we've never read the word compassion. But the word compassion is a theme or an idea throughout all of our books. Do I have you, Marco? Polo. Where are you? Right here. Right here. So compassion means that you truly care about someone or something. And because you care, you want to support them. And it's usually you show compassion about things that you are concerned about. So let's say and do, we're gonna just hug on ourselves for compassion because that helps us to think of love. Ready? Say and do. Compassion. Say and do. Compassion. Get ready, drummer. Get ready, magicians, to clap compassion in syllables. Here we go. Compassion.
Word wizard and magicians is just a big introduction, and then that kind of links to not only me providing examples, but the children exploring examples of the words and where can we find those words in real life, where it's something in our classroom that we can connect that word to. 2 things. Can you remember? Can you remember? I want you to, what word is this? I want you to turn and talk to your friend about what compassion means and how you can show compassion to each other in school. Teach. Okay. Turn and talk to your friends. How can you show compassion? All right, you can turn and talk to Elijah, can turn and talk there, and you can turn and talk to David. All right, how can we show compassion?
We can show by making cards. Making shoes and clothing.
Okay.
Blankets.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes up here. Excellent job. I heard some great examples. Ariana, do you mind sharing your example?
Me and Giovanni were talking about if somebody came to school and they didn't have anything, you could give them a present, or you could give something that you really loved at home.
That's really good, because thinking about others by giving something that you love really shows compassion.
It's more than memorizing a definition. How can we, show compassion? How can we show support? And so I really think long and hard about what are activities that I can do to connect to my students' understanding? What is something that I can do to help them really truly embody the words that we're learning?
I want us to, let's see how well you know these words. So who's ready? All right, now we're going to talk about concerned. Remember what our motion was for? Oh, Zachary remembers what's our motion? Concerned. Say and do concerned. Concerned. Say and do concerned. Concerned. You're doing a great job. Let's think about some times we feel concerned. If I say something that you think would be a time to be concerned, say concerned. What are we going to say? Concerned. Oh, you got some wonderful voices. And if I say something that has nothing to do with being concerned, what are you going to say? Nothing. All right, are you ready? Yes. I'm going to trick you. I just know I am. Are you sure? All right, let's see. Here we go. Losing your backpack. Concerned. I would be concerned about losing my backpack, especially if my lunch money was in there. My goodness. All right, here we go. Learning that a friend is sick. Concerned. Wondering how many stars are in the sky. Good job. Being late. Concerned. If your mother called her sister and got worried because she called and she didn't pick up the phone, what could we say about your mother? Your mother was concerned about her sister. Oh, I didn't. What's the word that means to be worried about someone or something? Concerned. Say and do. Concerned. Say and do. Concerned. All right. Why have we learned all of these words? Why do we need to, hold on, that's right, so we can learn. Why is it important for us to learn about support and compassion and concerned?
So we can do something for other people.
That's, give her a 10-finger rule. 1, 2, 3, woo! It's all about helping other people. By helping yourself, by knowing what these words mean, we can help other people. So repeat after me. How can I help a friend in need? And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to learn how to bring our words to life. Okay? Are you ready to learn about that? Great.
It actually started from afternoon conversation. Usually at the end of the day, the students and I get to discuss, well, what are some things that you are interested in learning more about? And we started talking about homelessness. And I asked them, well, do you think Miss Frazier can be homeless? And they're all, no, you can't be homeless. You're Miss Frazier. I said, actually I can be homeless. I can be living in my car every day and you don't even know it. I come to work every day, but I actually don't have a place to stay. And that sparked a series of questions, which really prompted me to do more and to dig deeper. And so I created this service learning project because of my love for vocabulary and how to transform vocabulary instruction, and then also my other passion, giving back to the community.
All right, guys, let's get ready. Crisscross applesauce. Eyes up here. Ready to rock? All right, we are about to start our research portion of our unit on homelessness. Remember, we started asking those questions about what does it mean to be homeless? Can kids be homeless? Can Miss Frazier even be homeless? So what Miss Frazier has done is I've gathered lots of research, and today we're going to learn about that. I'm looking for a research helper. Oh, Elena, would you come on down? All right, honey. You remember? All right, you're my technician. The magic pen is in your hand. All right, you're going to stand right here, and then I can work from here. So our first question is, what does it mean to be homeless? What's our first question? What does it mean to be homeless? A homeless person is a person who does not have a place to live. Remember when we were talking about needs and wants? We were talking about needs and wants. Yes, ma'am? Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
What were some of those things that we need to survive? Water, food, shelter. Oh, shelter. Shelter is a big place. And that's something that's really important. If you don't have a shelter, you may not survive. Stay with me. So a homeless person is a person who does not have a place to live. They have to live in a shelter sometimes, like the Salvation Army. Or they have to live with other people, and sometimes, and unfortunately, I know you've seen this, sometimes they have to live on the street. Do you think that's a happy place to be, to feel? No, I don't think so. Let's go to the next slide. Go ahead and press. Can children be homeless? Give me a thumbs up if you think that kids like you can be homeless. Do you think that? Does anyone disagree? Zachary, you don't think kids can be homeless? Actually, believe it or not, kids can be homeless. And they are normal kids just like you. And unfortunately, there are kids right here at our school who don't have a place to go and live when they go home, when they leave school today. They don't have a home, okay? They have to go live with someone else, or maybe their parents are living in their cars and they're facing some really hard times. They just do not have a place to stay. They're normal kids, they just don't have a home. Okay? So I don't want you to think that homeless kids are weird or aliens or they're so different. They're just like you. They're kids just like you. They just don't have a place to live. Are there homeless children here in Savannah? Yes, there are homeless children right here. And look at this big number. Let's count the digits in this number. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5,541 individuals or people experienced homelessness in Chatham County. Body check. That many people. That's a lot of people. That's almost 6,000 people who did not have a place to stay. And of that huge number, 762 of them were children. 762. How many tens do you see in 762? 6. And what's the value of that 6? 60. No, listen to my question. Don't answer the question you want. Answer Miss Frazier's question. My question was, how many tens are in 762? How many tens? 6. And what's the value of that 6? 60, because that's 6 groups of 10. And if you count by 10 6 times, that's what? 60. And then we even bumped up. We have a 3-digit number. We have hundreds. 762. Eyes up here. That wasn't everyone. Eyes up here.
Eyes up there.
So that means that's a large number. And that was last year. So now, all of that to say, how can we help our friends? What can we do to help homeless children in Savannah? Let's give a 10-finger woo to Elena for being a wonderful technician. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Good job, Elena. Have a seat. What can we do to help our friends who are homeless? What can we do? Because do you know you can do something? Say, I can do something.
I can do something.
Say, I can do something.
I can do something.
I can help.
I can help.
So I want you to turn and talk to a friend, and I want you to think of ways that we as kids can help homeless kids in Savannah. You're going to turn and talk to your same buddy that you did before. Teach.
Okay.
Turn and talk. What can we do to help homeless children in Savannah?
And so the children actively engage, and we've called it think, pair, share for years, but it's turn and talking, where I tell them teach, they say okay, and they're teaching each other, they're collaborating with each other and sharing and expressing ideas. That stems and breaks into what we eventually will have as our stations. So the children create the service learning initiatives. If our class decided to make blankets, collect clothes, and to work on more artwork side of it with writing, so from their ideas that moved into the centers portion. And I love to be more of the facilitator during that time where the kids are actively engaged. They all worked on, setting up their roles. They all got to choose, this is the group that I want to work with. And then from that, we broke off into our learning sessions where the kids, are working on their jobs. And I use that time, again, to tie in other subject areas. Because remember, this all was, an ELA lesson originally, but, from the making of the blankets, we tie in math with non-standard measurement. From, writing the letters, we tie in the writing component and using those letters as actual writing assessment.
Anybody have something different? Layla?
Can collect blankets and paddles for the homeless.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. Don't you all think so? So we have a lot of ideas that we came up with. And I think out of all of these, we are going to be able to choose our best ones because we're getting ready to transition into our groups. So I'm looking to see who's ready for the cue. When you hear the bell, you're going to quietly get up and you're going to rotate to your center groups. Are you ready? Sit up nice and tall and straight. Ready to rock?
Ready to roll.
Let me see who's ready. Who's ready? Get up. We're just pretending. Good job. Go that way. You're fine. All right.
I did an observation with Miss Frazier once, and I wanted to sit there the entire day and watch her because her procedures, everything just flowed so nicely, and she really was able to keep up with the positive behaviors of the kids and the negative behaviors of the kids, and was able to quickly correct those children that aren't following what they were doing in the lesson.
First, we're going to work with words, and you're going to look at this card and you're going to say, hey, some of these are real words, and you're right, but you may not know them all. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on stretching out our sounds and blending them together, or saying those words fast. It sure is. And saying them fast so that we can read them, okay? So first, I'm going to have my turn, and then you're going to have your turn. All right, show me you're ready with your card. All right, my turn, then your turn. B-oo-ab, blab. B-oo-ab, blab. B-oo-ab, blob. Oh, start over. Here we go. B-oo-ab, blob. B-oo-ab, blob. Well, let's pause right there. What do you notice about all of those words that we just read? Did anybody notice anything? What did you notice about all of those?
They're real words.
They are real words. Did you notice anything else?
They're nonfiction.
Well, some of the words could be included in nonfiction text. What else did you notice? So what about the letters? They all have blends. What do they all have? They all have blends. Now, are blends the same as digraphs? No, digraphs are when we have two letters. They come together to make one sound. You have an example of a blend? Of a digraph? Excuse me. Which one? Shh. What letters is that?
S-H.
S-H. What's another one? What two letters is that?
S-T-H.
T-H. But we don't have any digraphs here. What do we have? Blends. It starts with me being the model and the students repeating, and then following that, they independently, I assign them a row of words that I listen in on them and say, we call it whisper reading, where they're reading just, loud enough for me to hear, but not too loud to distract their neighbor, where I'm hearing whether or not they are able to apply the strategies that we've been practicing. And following that, we move into fluency practice, where each one of them are given a fluency card with a short passage on it. When we read and we have that time at the table, it's targeted, it's explicit, it's systematic, and it's timely. And we get a lot done within a small fragment of time. All right, now we're going to read the first 8 words, first grade what? Fast. First grade fast. Here we go. Blab, blob, clam, clap, clog, club, clip, flag. Even faster. Blab, blob, clam, clap, clog, club, clip, flag. Even faster. Blab, blob, clam, clap, clog, club, clip, flag. All right, pass me these cards. All right, good job. Okay, now we're gonna, I know, and you know why we have to do repeated reading? Because when we read the same story more than once, that helps us to be a stronger reader, right? Good readers read the same text sometimes more than one time, and that helps you.
100 times.
That's right. It helps to improve your fluency and helps you to read with automaticity. All right. Well, go ahead. Since we've read it before, that means you don't need me. You're big kids. Start with the title, and we're reading. But if I see where they're just getting their fluency still is lacking, they're starting to sound a little robotic, I'll probably stop them and interject and model for them what I want their reading to sound like. Because the best way to be a better reader is to read and to hear good reading happening all around you.
When I come into her classroom, it's always something different every time you walk in. And she reaches her kids at all different types of the different learning styles. She hits each and every one of them. So when you walk into her classroom, you see excitement every time.
Any way that I can tie in multiple subject areas is always a great buy-in for me, because it's always about getting the most out of the time that I have with my kids. And this is a unit that is not meant to be done in one day. So it can expand over the course of a week, maybe 2 weeks.
We are working on our blanket, right? And more than just making blankets, what we decided to do, we wanted to see just how long our blanket was. Now, we were talking about non-standard and standard units of measurements, right? When you use your cubes to measure the length of the blanket, was that standard units or non-standard units? Non-standard units. How do you know that that's not non-standard? That those are non-standard? Do you remember any examples of our standard units? Like rulers and yardsticks. But once we start using things like cubes and paper clips and broomsticks and pencils, and what else have we used? Y'all really like the broomsticks. Scissors and all those things, those are non-standard, but they can still tell us how long an object is, right? And candy bars. So what did you do? What did you have to make sure that you did to make sure you measured correctly?
You have to recheck.
You have to recheck, that's right. And what did you have? I saw you over here making sure that they were nice and straight. Did you have any spaces? No, you didn't have any spaces. So what do you think is an effective way to count all of these? You think we should count by ones?
By 10.
Maybe by tens? Perhaps we can make bundles of 10 and see how many bundles of 10. Let's go ahead and do that. You start down here, and you start down here. Let's make bundles of 10. Go ahead and count your 10 and put it in the pile. Nice. Now, how are we going to figure out how many cubes long, how many squares long is our blanket? What are we going to do now? Tell me you're thinking. What are you thinking inside that brain?
Count by 10.
Count by 10. Do you agree with that? Yeah. All right, let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So come up with a sentence. How many squares long is our blanket?
It is 50 squares long.
Excellent job. Yeah, good job.
I really noticed that measurement was one of the weaknesses in my students, and so I used this station as an opportunity for them to get a chance to practice measuring with non-standard units in the classroom. So in this particular case, they used 1-inch colorful squares, and we have the conversation about how can we measure effectively, and what do we need to do in order to get an accurate measurement from here to there. Do all of your sentences begin with capital letters? Do all of your sentences end with a punctuation mark? Go back to that wonderful letter that you had, Ahmad. And now go back to your letter too. And let's think about why we're doing this. We want to show, what words do we want to show? We want to show compassion. And our cards are telling our friends that we love them. And that's going to help them to feel So what? You should be looking at your card, right? Look at there. Helping them to feel that you support them, right? What are some things that we can say in our cards to show support, to show compassion?
We love you.
We love you. Always have a writing center no matter what unit it is I'm teaching, because the constant practice and the constant putting down thoughts on paper just invigorates my kids and empowers them to do better and to go further. So the children were working on cards. Half of them were working on making cards with letters within them, and the other half of them were working on actual letters, because we do talk about, the parts of a letter, and it's always a great review for kids to review those parts by actually filling in those parts and writing their own letters. I have to go back to why we do what we do every day as educators, and why we're here each day working these long hours and taking work home and coming to work early and leaving late. And that's that when those children, when they enter our classrooms, they enter one way. But when they leave our classrooms, they leave ready for a successful and productive future.